All right, we're back with Chapter 8, and we're in the studio with Derek
Dirksen,
Anita Baker,
and Fareed Zarif,
Michael Powell, Alan Nance, Cortland Hale, Van Cephas, David Washington, and Gerald Lyles.
and Scott Guthrie.
Who started the group, Chapter 8?
Michael Powell and David Washington started the group. It was called the Juicers then, and it graduated probably about a year or so later to Chapter 8. Then I joined the group, and we were backing up the Detroit Emeralds. We took 4 tours with them to Europe and the United States. And from there, we decided to go on our own and just pursue our personal careers as a group.
How long did the group play together before you had a hit, before you got something on the market?
8 years.
8 years?
Isn't that a coincidence?
Chapter 8,
8 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who produced your first record?
Michael Powell and myself, along with Chapter 8.
Okay. What studio did you use?
Cloudborn Recording Studios in Grosse Pointe and Sound Suite in Detroit, Total Experience Studios in Los Angeles.
Have you found a difference in studios from Detroit, Los Angeles? What is the difference, in studios?
Well, sure, there's always a difference, be it the engineers, be it the equipment.
Sound?
Right, for sure. There's
Really?
always
Because
a
the way it's
difference.
built, or because who's handling it?
Well, it would be bad to get into a criticism
Right.
of studios and praising other ones, but let's just say that the major difference is that on the West Coast, you have a 24-hour circuit going. It's constantly moving. Nothing but, there's a whole lifestyle of recording going on 24 hours a day. In Detroit, it's somewhat more or less like, let's start the session at 9, the session will be over maybe at midnight. Bam, let's go to bed. See, out there, it's all day long.
It's like, 'cause if people from everywhere, out in California and Detroit, you're more on the local type thing.
We interviewed Chapter 8 at our studios and asked them questions about records and drugs and how they got started. And these were their comments.
The group got started as a band called the Juicers. This year would make 11 years.
The Juicers?
Okay. Yeah, it was. You know how you get these little names when you first start
Did you
out.
juice a lot?
No. We're not into anything like that.
Right.
But anyway, the band graduated to become Chapter 8, and we started backing up the Detroit Emeralds.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we ended up becoming the self-contained band that we are now, we left the Detroit Emeralds and proceeded to go for ourselves. We were together about 8 years before we got a record out. We had local offers, but we didn't want to pursue it that way. We didn't see that big a promise in recording a local record. Not to knock people to do that. Some people do find a way. The Floaters did that. They recorded a local record, became a million seller. We just personally didn't see, for the things we wished to accomplish, a means of accomplishing that.
Well, the first studio that we ever recorded in was a local studio, and it was Sound Suite. And from there, we went to Cloudborn, which is in Grosse Pointe, and we did the rest of the album there. And it went on to L.A. Total Experience, where the product was finalized.
See, by us being from Detroit and predominantly from the East Side, it's somewhat equal at this point
Right,
in terms of our
because-
membership. But by us being familiar with the majority of people here, because we had been together so long, when the record came out, we didn't get what you would call a big hit. We thought nothing more of it than, boy, I'm glad we got a record.
Right. So our thing didn't change per se, but a person's attitude towards you changes. The public's attitude changed. Our lifestyle didn't take such a drastic change. There was much more travel and things like that. But your public changes you.
The personnel changes we have had have definitely been for the better. We've had a couple members that we added to the band after we recorded the album, and as of today, both of those are now gone. We've just added Fareed, who's our percussionist.
Yay!
He's a
Percussionist
extraordinaire.
Thank you.
And this may possibly be the final addition to Chapter 8. We're definitely self-contained in every sense. The meaning of Chapter 8 represents.
When you look at the
Just
number
some-
first,
Right.
say, the
Without a
number,
doubt.
the symbol 8 itself is a continuous line. It never breaks, and this constitutes strength in the unbroken line.